Zaslow, can you please, as someone who's covered college football all season, Lucy Rodine is I think she's gonna be at Texas A&M.
Yeah.
So's Ron McGill's kid, who's enjoyed following them around. Let's break this down as quickly as we can through this prism, okay? I believe this is the best team the University of Miami has faced, and I think Marcel Reed is the most dangerous quarterback they've faced. I know C.J. Carr has been very good this year and doesn't turn the ball over, but C.J. Carr cannot run. Did not run all season, and he was playing in his first game against Miami. So I think, even though Kevin Jennings of SMU is very good, I think Marcel Reed at quarterback is the greatest threat they have. But Greg was telling everyone at the party, and I think he's got this right, that Miami's advantages on both lines of scrimmages make it so that Miami is gone from a 5.5-point dog to a 2.5-point dog and is getting healthy, and I believe can expose the SEC as a fraud from this perspective. Arkansas lost 10 games in a row. Arkansas put up 42 on Texas A&M. They didn't put up 42 on anybody else. When I saw Arkansas play Notre Dame dragged Arkansas across the line of scrimmage. I think these SEC teams, because they're playing against each other, hasn't quite seen something like the Miami offensive line or the Miami defensive line, because you think of the SEC as Georgia, Alabama, and Oklahoma. They're not what they were, none of them. Those are hugely flawed teams. Texas A&M hasn't beaten anybody in a conference that people think is good. I do think there's the chance Miami drags them.
No. I mean, we just haven't talked about the most important element of this
I know where
game.
this is going.
I just feel like I really wanted to say something to Mike, but I know Mike has been here a long time.
She went to Oregon. You know where this is going.
And probably would have slit my throat if I would have said this like right away, 2 seconds in, proverbially. 2018.
I don't think that's how you say
No, that was bad. That was bad. That was matriculate level.
Also, Dan, I don't think that's how you say it either.
That was bad. That was bad. We're both having a bad word day. Oregon led Stanford 31-28, under a minute left, holding the ball on the 43-yard line. And instead of just kneeling down, Mario Cristobal called for a handoff. And instead, Verdell fumbled. Stanford recovered, tied the game, and won it in overtime. Mario Cristobal doesn't win the big games. Wow. And he never has. And it's always the result of something that he's done in error. And I think that will come to rear its ugly head, proverbially, tomorrow.
I don't know about that, Trista. He played the biggest games this year outside of the SMU game and the Louisville game, obviously.
That was
but
a bad one.
The big games on the schedule, Notre Dame, that was a win. They won that game convincingly. That we always talk about it, but that first drive of the second half where they went for
16 plays,
9-minute drive where they ran the ball up the middle 6 times in a row, that shows you how strong their offensive line is. And then
I think they're just scoring on them.
And then when you flip on the defensive side of the ball, these guys talk about Ruben Bain. It's okay, one-on-one Ruben Bain. Don't send a tight end to help. Don't send a back to chip. That guy is a menace, and he's going to wreck everything they want to do. My only worry is that the Canes, looking through their schedule, didn't really play a quarterback that was dual threat in the way that they have struggled with Haynes King.
Jennings isn't this.
And he's not that whatsoever. Marcel Reed is the guy that can get outside and really create stuff with his feet. So it's a lot about the containment, those edges, Mesidor, Bain, they're going to have to get around and then force him to get up the pocket. But the linebackers are going to have to keep an eye on Marcel Reed so he doesn't escape.
Do you agree, as someone who's a college football expert, you have been saying the schedule of Texas A&M, when you look at it, you're not going to see a whole lot of impressive things. Marcel Reed is averaging 5 yards a carry. He's their second leading rusher. Their receivers, they've got 3 very good receivers. They can score on anybody.
Not going to sit here and tell you I'm not worried. It's the biggest crowd the Canes will have played in front of all season, by a wide margin, all right?
It's the best team they will have played.
Yep. Yeah. And this Texas A&M team, 1 loss in the SEC is super impressive, obviously. They've played all the bottom-tier SEC teams. They have no wins. They didn't play any of the top ones. The best SEC team they played is Texas, and Texas dominated them in the second half. I don't think Texas is that good. I think the Canes are going to score on them tomorrow. Canes might take that ass.
I got the Canes. I got the Canes by 12.
Wow.
Get him out of here.
Trista's alone here. Everybody's out here now. We've swung wildly on this.
Homers.
I don't care.
Okay, indifference is a good way to end the segment before the biggest game in 20 years for UM football.